Hey guys, I'm back. I wanted to take a quick break actually from the back to school series of videos and actually take a break and talk about safety. I was thinking about this the other day or yesterday. I was like, I should probably talk about, because I know some people already have oils at home or, hopefully we'll be maybe making some of these recipes and things that I've been talking about or putting some of these things into practice. And I'm like, I better talk about safety really quickly because I talked about it a little bit in my very first video that I accidentally erased. So I wanted to really quickly just talk about some of the issues that have come up and that are often asked about, and just kind of talk about those first before, and then later today, maybe even right after this, I think I'll do another video just to wrap up the back to school series. So our kids are back to school. I know a lot of kids are going back today, some tomorrow. So far so good. This morning I drove the girls to school because it's raining, and I looked back and my Mallory's getting out her roller bottles and she's putting them on her temples and on her wrists. It was super cute. So I just love seeing my girls take ownership of it and just use what they feel like that they need to help their day. So, but before I get back to the school stuff, I want to talk about safety. Some different things that come up a lot, and some things just kind of, some of them are random and some of them are a little bit more kind of in depth. I'm not an expert by any means. I get a lot of my information. Well, I have a lot of resources that I use, and I'll talk about those. But this baby here is amazing. This is a desk reference for essential oils from Life Science Publishing, and it has everything that you'd want to know about oils and how their history and just how they are distilled, and it's amazing. So I went to that and just looked up some things, and then just things that I've learned over time. A couple things: when you use citrus oils, you do not want to, if you're going to be outside, you don't want to use citrus oils on your skin if you're going to be out in the sun. The sun can interact, the UV rays can interact with citrus, and that's nothing new. That is actually something back in the day, I used to manage tanning beds, and even when I was going to trainings for those, one of the things I learned about was that tanners could have bad reactions if they'd eaten grapefruit that day or had certain fruits in their system. And just because of that interaction, it's just a natural interaction, but you don't want to go out and then end up with a burn. So if you're going to use citrus oils on your skin, you want to make sure that you're not going to be in the sun like in the next 24 hours. Or you can cause some skin issues and possibly burn your skin. So they use the actual oil from the peel, from the rind. They don't use it from the actual fruit itself. So that's something to keep in mind if you're using citrus oils on yourself or on your kids, those kinds of things. Also, you don't want to ever use oils directly into your ears. You can use them around your ears. Like, it's actually really, a lot of times I'll put them like here and even kind of around here and behind my ear. I do a lot behind my ears. Kind of like you do perfume, but you never want to put oils directly into your ears. That could cause some problems. And also, you don't want to get them into your eyes. And the thing with oils is if you do get them into your eyes, you do not want to use water, because you're just going to actually push the oils in further. Water and oil don't mix. And so if you do get oils into your eyes, you want to use an oil, like a carrier oil, to get that to flush them out. Just something to keep in mind. Also, I know pets have come up a lot. There's been some viral videos that have gone around about using oils on pets, around pets, and that's a whole different topic. But I guess the one thing I want to say about it is just do your research, right? Because there are a lot of oils that are perfectly safe for pets. I have a pet line of oils that I use on our dog. I use Peace and Calming on her when it's storming outside. But there are different things you want to keep in mind. Like, you don't want to lock them in a room with a diffuser of oil, with oil running, because if they don't like that oil, they'll often tell you if they do or don't like an oil. You want to make sure that they can get out of the room, okay? So that they aren't like in this oil that they aren't reacting to very well. And that's something just, like I said, that could be a whole other video, but just Lindsay Elmore, really good resource. She's a pharmacist. who is also a Young Living ambassador, and she's just does amazing videos and articles on these different issues that pop up, and she'll usually respond right away if there's a viral video going around about something that maybe the whole story wasn't part of it. And so she'll do the research for you, and she'll say, okay, this is why this happened, or this is why this person or this pet had this certain reaction. And she's done, I know, a lot of work on pets, and there's a lot of good information out there. So just do your research, and to each their own. Like, we all have to figure out what works for us. Same thing with using oils internally. There's a lot of great information and a lot of great resources out there about that. We feel that it's safe to use the Vitality oils internally, and we have reasons for that. Like I said, I've done my research, but that's something that we all have to do on our own and research on our own. Same thing if you are pregnant or have underlying health issues or allergies or those kinds of things. Talk to your doctor, do some research. We all, again, have to take into consideration what our personal situation is and how we feel we can safely include them into our lives. At the same time I say that, I want to say these are natural, right? Just because they're natural doesn't mean you can do whatever you want with them, right? There are still certain things you have to do to be careful. Like, you can't drink a whole bottle of them. You're probably gonna get sick. You can overdose on water, right? You can drink too much water. There's still some safety things you have to keep in mind when using oils. But I guarantee that it seems like we give a lot more thought to this because it's different than we do the medicine that we take and don't even question what's in it. You know what I mean? So just one of those things to keep in mind. Also want to talk about purity and potency, because oils, Young Living oils, are potent because they are the pure, 100% pure oil. So that's why you don't have to use very much at a time. That's why it's so powerful in a small amount. And that's what makes it amazing, is because you can make a bottle and you may say, okay, I'm spending $30 on this bottle, but it will last you forever. It's like a 5 milliliter is, I think, 90 drops, and a 15 milliliter is around 280 drops. So they last you a long, long time because they're so potent. But because they're potent, there are some things you want to, be careful about not overusing them. Especially if you do have underlying health issues, if your body maybe isn't prepared for it. And what I mean when I say that is, a lot of times an oil, when you are either putting it onto your skin or you're internally taking them, is they will start to detox your body. Okay, they're gonna get in there, especially the citrus oils. They're gonna start they're gonna go to your cells. They're gonna start kind of taking out the icky stuff that's in your cells. Okay, but if all those toxins that it's now trying to get out of your body has nowhere to go, then all you're doing is shaking it up and leaving it there. Okay, so if you have a colon maybe that is blocked or isn't healthy, you might want to detox your colon first before you use a lot of oils on your body or internally, so that they have a place to go, if you know what I mean. Very pleasant, I know. So to me, it's okay. If you have a dirty rug, right, and you take it outside, you shake it out and the dirt goes outside. Okay, if you were to put that same rug in a box, shake it up, and then leave it there, the dirt all goes back onto the rug, right? So if your body is in a place where it can get rid of the toxins, where you have a healthy colon that is going to let things move through, then you're going to shake up these toxins and you're going to be sick because you're not giving them a way to get out of your body. Also, you have to drink lots of water, right? If this is the first time you've kind of used products that have detoxed your body, you want to drink lots of water as well. That will also help that process. And so we all come at this with different levels of health and different levels of wellness, and so we have to keep that in mind. If you have maybe your liver needs to be kind of focused on first and detox so that it can handle the extra detox that you're doing, that kind of thing. And so just some things to kind of keep in mind. If you start, I know there's some times where I'll start taking a bunch of supplements and I know, okay, I'm gonna kind of feel icky for a couple days because I'm kind of getting rid of some stuff that I haven't been treating my body very well, and I know I have to kind of get that out of my system. Just some thoughts there for you on that. Also, it is super, super important that you're using a pure oil. And I talked about this in that very first video that I accidentally deleted or didn't save. I'm not for sure what I did. But if you don't have a pure oil, then what you have is you have synthetic extenders, and you have adulterated liquids that are being added in that are just going to cause more problems, and they're also going to make them not effective. So you're going to take this oil, or you're going to use it and be like, yeah, that didn't work. So for example, okay, lavender is one that a lot of times if you go to, like, say Walmart and buy lavender, there have been tests done that show it's not actual lavender. It's it's called a hybrid of lavender called lavandin. Okay, well, even though it's a hybrid of lavender, it has completely different constituents, right? So lavandin can actually cause burns to your skin, whereas lavender, the real pure lavender, is great for your skin. Like, that's one of the main things we use it for. So that's that little difference. Even though it's a hybrid of lavender, that little bit of difference can make a huge impact on whether or not the oil works for you and whether or not the oil actually itself harms you, okay? So the hard part of this is that oils are kind of regulated, but they're kind of not. So for instance, your bottle in Walmart, if it says 100% pure, okay, the only requirement for them to put that on there is that 5% of the bottle is a pure oil. And so then you can have 5% of the bottle that's pure and 95% of it that is just added in crap, right? Which, so one, it's not going to work. You're going to buy it and you're like, this is like bogus. And then two, it could harm you even more. So you just have to be super, super careful about the purity of the oil that you're getting, and that you're not actually making things worse, okay? So in regards to the purity, and the reason I trust in Young Livings is because of their seed to seal promise, right? That they control it from the minute it goes into the ground until the minute it's in the bottle. There are so many factors that can make a difference in the therapeutic value of your oil that they have been perfecting over 25 years, okay? So I'm talking about the part of the plant that's used, whether or not they use fertilizer, the condition of the soil, the climate, the geographical location, their harvesting methods, and their distillation process. The temperature and the pressure in which they distill these oils make a huge difference in the therapeutic value of it at the end of it, right? So you can have, I believe it was Cypress, Young Living distills it at a lower temperature over, I think, 24 or 25 hours. But you have other companies that are distilling it at higher temperatures for 2 hours, okay? They have completely, by doing that, they've completely changed the constituents inside that oil. So they aren't going to be nearly as therapeutic as the lower temperature and I believe it's higher pressure. Okay, yes. No, lower temperature, lower pressure. So a lot of the components, kind of like when you boil like vegetables, right? They talk about how if you cook it too high or boil it too long, you actually take out a lot of the nutrients. Like, you've kind of made the vegetable kind of worthless because the nutrients are no longer in there. Kind of a similar thing. Like, they've done the research over decades, and they have figured out how the best ways to distill these oils and keep all the constituents that are then going to help our bodies. So that's something that is super important and needs to be looked at. Just, again, research. Just kind of look, whatever company you're using, just look at how they distill things. Like, are they distilling it in a short amount of time so they can get it on the market, and they don't really care about really how the value of it, they just care about making money off of it? Is it something that, like, I know Young Living, I believe, bottles less of a percent than they actually don't bottle, because they have very specific restriction, like their own restrictions they've put on. This particular oil has to have these exact constituents or we don't bottle it, kind of thing. So just something to keep in mind. Quality matters, huge, not just in whether or not it will affect you and whether it will actually work like it's supposed to work and work with the synergy. We'll work with it with the synergy of our bodies and our cells, but it could actually harm you if you're getting a bunch of fake crap. So, to put it bluntly. So now, if you've had a reaction to a pure oil, there could be issues either underlying that are a cause of that, or if you have, say, a skincare product that, you know, is from the store, that could be an interaction between the oil and that product. So there's always those kinds of things to keep in mind. A lot of times if people have, maybe like I said, they get a headache from a certain oil, it could just be their body isn't in a place to handle that particular oil at this point in time. Put it away for 6 months, bring it back out. Once their body is maybe a little bit healthier or in a better place, it could take that oil just fine. But because we have so much stuff on our skin and in our bodies that that is not good for us, right? I talked about skincare products, talked about makeup, all those kinds of things. Then sometimes those oils, if you say maybe get a skin rash or something, it could be reacting not to your body, it's reacting to what you have on your body. So just some things to think about. Those are the main things I want to talk about as far as safety. I know I've talked about dilution in the past, like you want to dilute the oils, and the Young Living bottles have directions on them, and the reason is because one, it actually makes them go further. It actually makes them sink in better. But there are a lot of oils that have what are called hot oils in them, like the combo oils or some of the single oils are called hot oils, where if you put them directly onto your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin, it could cause some redness and some burning. So when you dilute it with a carrier oil, then it avoids that. Especially with kids, you know, with kids, especially young kids, and there's books out there and there's lots of resources out there for using oils with kids or with babies or pets or those kinds of things, right? The younger they are, the more you want to dilute, okay? Because they have smaller bodies, they aren't processing things like us adults are, and so you don't want to give them as much as like what we would take. And so just some of those things to keep in mind, again, like just kind of using common sense, using your brain, using your research capabilities. Of course, the internet, you can get all kinds of, you know, who knows, but just try to find some sources that you trust. Like I have Lindsay Elmore is amazing. I listened to the Oil Revolution by Samantha Lee Wright. She has an amazing podcast with lots of great information. Leslie Burris, love her here on Facebook. She's not as much, she's educational, but she kind of takes things from a different avenue. But there are so many great resources, and that's why I'm here to help with, and that's why I'm doing these. That's why I want to do these videos, because I want to educate. Like I want you guys to understand kind of what these things are, what they're about. When you smell, you know, when your kids smell my kids at school, are like, why do you smell like patchouli? You know, they'll understand. You'll understand why our family uses them. Which I'm sure my daughter smells awesome right now. She was all over the place. It was pretty funny. So just wanted to talk about those issues and any other questions that you have. Like if you're using oils right now, whether it's Young Living, another company, and you have questions, just holler at me, let me know. I'm happy to help. Not an expert by any means. Like I said, I often will go to this book here. I look online. I go to the resources that I found to be very trustworthy, that have done the research, that can explain the research. And I can sure help you as much as I possibly can, and that's what I'm here for. Whether I am, whether you're signed up under me, whether you're just watching for education purposes, I'm here to help. So just wanted to talk about some safety issues really quickly. I can't think of anything else I'm forgetting. I think that's pretty much it. I'll be back. I'm going to do another video here shortly. I got to get some stuff together, but I'm going to... I'm going to wrap up one last video. I think I'm going to do the sports one later. So I think I'm going to wrap up one kind of last back to school video here today, talking about sleep and rest, stress, courage and nerves, and mood. They're all kind of emotionally based a little bit. And I want to talk about, I'm going to make some roller bottles. I'm going to talk about some sprays you can make to spray like on your sheets and your pillows. Just some different things as our kids go through all the emotional turmoil of school and friends and sports and drama and all that kind of stuff. And just want to kind of provide some things that we've used to help with that, whether it's be things that we diffuse or things that we have the kids apply at night or in the morning or during the day or whatever. So I'm going to wrap that series up today, since kind of we're all back to school and back in it now. And I'm just going to continue to do more videos, focus on certain subjects, just hopefully just to get some information out there. So I'll be back here in a little while with some recipes, and I'm going to make some stuff. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.